maybe one of the worst first round draws in conference tournament history. North Texas is a championship level team. And we knew that. We knew that from the time we saw them on the bracket, and we knew that we were going to have to play very, very well today to get out of here. And I think our experience showed early. When North Texas really, was in control of things, I thought we stayed really composed and enough to be able to turn that thing a little bit and find a way to win. So tremendous respect for their team. I think it speaks highly to the level of team that we have, and we're excited to be moving on.
Hey, Coach, Drew Tennis from the College Heights Herald. So, you just said, that first set was kind of tough. So what adjustments did you have to make in order to take that set?
Yeah, well, we just had to be patient. North Texas, sometimes, I've learned after coaching this long, sometimes when you're losing, it's not because you're doing something poorly. And early on, North Texas was just playing lights out, in every facet of the game. And so during timeouts and things like that, I just talked to our team about that and just stay the course. And we're playing pretty well. And if we continue to play well, hopefully they'll level out a little bit. And if they level out, it'll give us a chance to win at the end. And that's exactly how it worked out.
Hey, Coach, Jared with the Daily News here. I know you talked about their offense yesterday and said you didn't want to get in an offensive slugfest. It seemed like late they were able to get in system some in that third set after you guys had a pretty good lead. But, over the entirety of the match as a whole, how would you assess you guys did with that?
Yeah, I think I'm really, really pleased with how we defended. Barbara Tico is a kid that's been in this league for a long time, but hasn't been quite the offensive player this year. She struggled some at times, but I knew she was capable, and she played huge for them today. What you could expect a senior to do. I mean, she had 15 kills and hit 324, but, they're two headliners, Rhett Robinson and Val Valerian, both hit the 100s. And, I think that if we knew that we could hold them into the 100s, then I think we felt like we had a chance to win. And it was just enough today.
Coach Jared with the Daily News again. Nadia had 46 assists today. That is a season high for a 3-set match for her. I know I asked you about the superlatives yesterday. She's probably one of those ones that would have been in contention for one of the individual Setter of the Year awards. When we talked to her, it seemed like she was a little bit, I guess, not herself yesterday after that. A little bit extra motivated,
You're going to have to repeat. I heard 2/3 of that, Jared, and we lost you right at the very end when you started talking about Nadia's response. If you could just pick up from there.
Yeah. It seemed like when we talked to her yesterday, she was a little bit disappointed or a little bit hungry or just not herself, I guess. Did you notice anything different from her heading into this turn fire?
Well, I think there's a lot of that in our locker room. I think that we have kids that work really hard at this game and play it at a high level. And, we feel like we have some of the best players in the league. And, when you talk about those superlative awards and you look at the young women that won those awards, you can absolutely understand why they did, because they're some terrific players across the board. And so it's certainly not a feeling that, that any of those young women weren't deserving. It's just, we've got winners in our locker room. We got kids that compete at a high level in our locker room. And so, when there's any indication out there that they're not the best, that motivates them to want to be the best. And I think that's simply what you're seeing in Nadia's case and so many others as well.
Hey, Coach, Drew Tennis from the College Heights Herald. So Matthews led the team in kills today. Would you say there were players that stepped up and were different?
Yeah, well, again, you cut out at the very end. I heard you talk about Lauren and wanted to know maybe who else stepped up. Well, Lauren was Lauren today. 17 kills, hit 552, had a tremendous match for us. And then obviously Kayland Jackson, KJ, again, was deemed to not be one of the best 22 players in our league this year. And, I think that, again, she is as competitive as a human being as I've ever coached. And so I think she felt like she wanted to go out and prove herself today. And, You know, again, she did it against a team that I think is as good as this league has to offer. And so, you know, she set a tone for us, and boy, it really makes our offense run well when she's doing the things she was doing.
Hey, Coach, Jared again with the Daily News. You know, quick turnaround for you guys, less than 24 hours until you play again. At this point, you don't know who you play again. But no matter who it is, I guess, what's it going to take to try to keep this thing rolling?
Well, we just got to keep trying to play well. You know, if you watched me, I was really calm throughout the match, even when North Texas was in the lead, because I liked the way we were playing. And, you know, this time of year, Jared, all you can hope is that your team is playing well. And sometimes that's enough, and sometimes that's not enough. And people talk about all the championships that I've been a part of since I've been here, but in my 26-year career, I've still lost more of them than I've won. And I've taken some awfully good teams into tournament play during those years. And so we understand that we can't ultimately control the outcome, but we can control how we approach things from a competitive level and from you know, an execution level. And it's going to take that every step of the way. The biggest difference in Conference USA volleyball right now and Conference USA volleyball in the past is not the top of the league. It's the middle of the league. The middle of this league is now moved to the top of this league. And there are many, many teams that are here that have a chance to win this thing. And we'll try to get up tomorrow and find a way to win again and advance to the final.
Anything else for Coach?
All right.
Thanks,
Guys.
Coach.
Appreciate you.
We'll be back in a second with players. Sorry. Go ahead with questions for Logan.
Hey, Logan, this is Jared with the Daily News. You know, Coach talked about not wanting to get into an offensive slugfest with this team yesterday. I guess defensively and trying to keep them out of system for 3 sets as a whole. How do you feel like you guys did with that?
I think we did a really good job defensively. I definitely, the people around me, Hallie Shelton, Ashley Hood, we stuck together and we took some hard balls, and I think we kept us in it for most of the part. So yeah, I think we did a really good job defensively.
You know, down the stretch there, I guess, you know, you guys had a big lead in the 3rd set. North Texas starts to go on a run. You know, what's said in those couple of timeouts in order to finish this thing out?
I think we've done most of the work to get to where we are now. So I think it's just about relying on each other and, you know, holding hands and getting those points together. So yeah, I just think if we rely on each other, and I think there was like a sense of calmness around us. So yeah, just sticking with each other and pushing through those points and stuff and those runs that were against us. I think we pulled out and did the job well.
Drew Tennis from the College Heights Herald. So what would you say was the North Texas really challenged you guys with, you know, especially just in the 1st set and kind of near the end of that 3rd set?
Yeah, I think they have a lot of good offensive players on their team, and I think they came at us like full throttle. And, you know, Rhett Robinson on the right side and Val Valerian on the left, I think they both came at us really hard, and we tried to stop them as good as we could. And yeah, we thought their middles would be more of a threat, but we shut it down really quickly. So yeah.
A quick turnaround for you guys, less than 24 hours, and at this point, you don't know who you're going to play next. One of the teams that you could potentially face is a team that you've played twice before. One of them you haven't seen. I guess what's it going to take, you know, either way to keep this thing rolling for you guys?
I like Travis said, it is a mindset, and it's completely just how we approach the game at this point. And I'm in full certainty that we're going to approach tomorrow, whether we've played them or not, the same way. So I think if we just stick together and figure this out, we'll be good.
Anything else for Logan? All right, great.
Congrats.
1 second, we'll be back with KJ. All right, we've got Kayland Jackson here. Go ahead with questions when you're ready.
Hey KJ, this is Jared with the Daily News. Another sweep for you guys. North Texas, good offensive team, and you guys didn't want to get into an offensive slugfest with them today. Is what Coach said yesterday. Just overall, I think, what do you think led to the overall success that you guys were able to have today?
Of course, North Texas did an amazing job today. And it was a really great game. I mean, we were both playing some amazing defense. North Texas was flying around, digging some crazy balls. And so were we. So, I mean, we just both came out giving our best shot. I think we just ended up pulling it through with some amazing offense. And then we were also flying around defense as well. So we really worked on the things that we knew we had to do to beat this team.
Hey, Kaylin, Drew Tennis from the College Heights Herald. So what's going to be your mentality moving forward into the semifinals?
Yeah, just moving forward, it's just about you on your side of the net. It's, tournament time and everyone's ready to play. We're all here because we had a great season, and you have to control what you can control. Lock in, and this is what we've all been working for. So it really ultimately comes down to who wants it and who has the mentality to go get it.
Jared again with the Daily News. We talked to you and Nadia yesterday after you guys had practiced in the accolades. The Conference USA honors had come out. Nadia seemed maybe a little bit more locked in than usual, I would say. She has a season high 46 assists in a 3-set match today. What did you see from her, coming into this match and, throughout the entirety of it?
I love playing with Nadia. She delivers the ball. She's a really good setter. I think she came in this match. She was very confident. She was ready to prove something. I mean, like Travis said, we all feel like we're great players because we work at it. And, it feels good to be recognized. And sometimes when you're not, you kind of get a chip on your shoulder as a competitor just because that's who we are. And that's why we're here. So it was good to see her just playing really confident and throwing the ball around. And it ended up being a really good match for her.
For you too, a really good match, really efficient match. Just that one error late in the third set. What was going right for you out there, do you think?
I think I just really came in with a competitive mindset and just knowing that, if you don't win, this could be your last game. So you just have to come in ready to play, ready to put a ball away and do what you have to do for your team.